Welcome back to Rev It Up Bowling. My name is Jason Robarge, and today we're gonna be testing our new house shot. Here at Center Bowl, we try to change the house shot. It hasn't been changed in a few years, and with no ownership, they wanted a new house shot. So they have asked me to do some testing. All we're gonna be doing today is just bowling, really. I'm gonna be talking about what is a house shot, how it qualifies as a house shot, and where you're looking to play on a house shot. Now, take this with a grain of salt, every place is different, right? I'm gonna be just showing what I'm physically seeing here, what I like and what I dislike, and report back to the owners and see if they're gonna change it again, make some tweaks, and then do some more testing. Without further ado, let's get into it. What we're gonna be doing first is, on any shot I bowl on, I always start, if I don't know what it is especially. So whatever pattern it's out, I'll usually try to start with my highest volume, slowest responding bowling ball. Now traditionally that technically could be urethane because it's very slow to respond, but house shot. We're not even gonna try. I don't usually throw it, so I'm not going to today. But we're gonna be starting going up 5, throwing the Mesmerize. Now this is the slowest ball in my bag. This did not work on our previous shot, nor do I really think it will work on this one, but I do wanna test a variety of bowling balls. I got the Mesmerize to start. I got the Entity, which we just did the ball review on. Different type of bowling ball, still an ASIM. Then we got the Sneak Attack and the Stealth. Both in my bag complement themselves each other pretty well. So we're gonna go ahead and play the different parts of the lane with each ball, see what it does, test the hold, how much friction is there right, and go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Mesmerize, going up 5. It's going to overhook, and I'm going to move left. We'll start with that. Mesmerize, watch this thing hook. Okay, I'm just wrong. Now that ball I drilled this thing specifically for tournaments, really for nationals. Now I threw it a lot at nationals. With the quirky layout and everything, the ball does like to roll very forward upon friction. Very front to back type of shape. We're gonna go ahead and do that again, see if it was a fluke or see if I can repeat it. Five plays. That looks pretty good. I would imagine on this type of house shot, there's not much volume out there. Even if it does work, how long is that truly going to work for? Move in just a teensy bit. We're gonna try just left to 5. There it is. We're waiting for that. When you play that far right on a house shot, I guess let's define a house shot. What is a house shot? Basically a house shot just means it has a high ratio. The highest amount of volume to the lowest amount of volume. Typically creating that traditional Christmas tree top hat. There's been a bunch of different names over the years, but where there's more oil in the middle and less outside. With the higher amount of ratio, that makes a pattern typically easier because it allows for multiple angles on the lane. It basically is suitable for more styles than what a house shot would be for. I'm sorry, a sports shot would be for. So house shots are a lot more forgiving in that way. I would expect myself to be able to strike from multiple parts of the lane because that's what a house shot is supposed to allow you to do. Now, is one better than the other as far as like starting out 4th air or not? Transition will tell you that for sure. But in general, we're going to be able to strike in multiple points on the lane. It just depends on what ball motion we're trying to achieve and how long would that last. Again, it has a lot to do with who you're bowling with. We're gonna move the second arrow. It's gonna stay in the oil longer. Will it roll forward or just check? Hold? Okay, didn't have a whole lot of hold there. It is a big ball, low RG, some surface. It just didn't get far enough down lane before it hooked. It all makes sense, honestly. Go ahead and do that again. Better. I think we're getting to the point now where it's a lot of ball. Seems like there's not a stupid amount of oil. Don't get me wrong. This is meant for high volume. We're on a house shot playing second arrow. It's not gonna be high volumes. It's going to hook. Let's move in. I don't want to destroy the integrity of the pattern before I get through the other balls, so. Okay, I got that one pretty far right. One thing about house shots is it can get cliffed, where as you bowl more, you can deplete the right side, maybe shove oil, carry down in the middle, and then you start getting what we call the cliff. Definition of a cliff is if you get it a little inside, just skates for 60 feet, but as soon as you throw it right quick, checks and goes. That's what I just saw there. Now that has probably a lot to do with the bowling ball. This type of ball wants to roll early, there's not enough friction. If there's not enough friction blend it out. As soon as it sees that friction, especially if it's trying to already roll over, it's gonna duck hook, exactly what it just did. We're gonna keep moving left. I'd honestly be okay with this ball just not working. So we're starting to get to the point of the lane where a lot more volume. This ball is meant for heavy volume, and that created the best ball motion I've seen yet. Even the ones up 5, like, they looked okay, but I just don't think that's sustainable. So we're gonna move left one more time, and then we'll go and switch balls. Much better. Definitely creating better ball motion in the more oily part of the lane, the middle part of the lane. I'm thinking if this was a house shot, if this was league night, and I wanted the ball, I would have to start that deep, or at least have to do a bunch of tricks to make it so I can stand further right, throw it harder, less rev rate. It's league. I don't want to think that much. I'm gonna go ahead and move to a ball that may be more applicable to these lanes without me having to go away from default, everything like that. We're gonna go to the Entity. The Entity, bigger, still big ASIM solid, but has a much higher RG, and the drilling on it makes it respond quicker than that Mesmerize. You should definitely see a poppier, maybe a little longer type of shape. Again, we're gonna go to 5 and see what it looks like. Yeah, 5. Not too bad. I did have to tweak it a lot. Just took rev rate out and tried to come up the back of it, and it flat 10. Definitely not gonna play there. As far as the pattern itself, comparatively to the old one especially, our old one definitely, it cliffed and it duck hooked. I mean, the biggest thing about it was it felt like the middle part of the lane was pretty flat, and the right part of the lane, the outsides, were just torqued. You're playing like US Open or you're playing the desert. It's just one or the other. With this pattern, I am seeing more usability in different angles, and the middle part of the lane doesn't seem quite. I think with the right type of ball, it will be able to shim. Let's move left. Around second arrow, just left of it, around 13. Much better. Yeah, definitely still an ASIM. You can see that once it's stopped hooking, rolls forward wherever it's going. Symmetrics like continue more. That looked pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and move left more. I can already tell I can throw this ball further right than I can with the Mesmerize. For me, that's fine. I don't want to wheel the lane every time I go bowl league. I would like to just not think and throw it up the lane. This definitely fits that mold better. Move left more. We're gonna go 15-ish, 15-ish. Ooh, not too bad. Definitely got further down lane, was more responsive off that friction, but still went to the pins fine. That looks pretty good from that area. Now, the true test of a house shot like this would be to get your typical league bowlers to come down and bowl. That's the best way to break down and test the house pattern, but with me on my lonesome, we're just throwing the ball around and see what it does. Transition is like a different story. I'm testing fresh. Now, as it transitions, there's a pattern that arises. Now, depending on who you bowl with, can change the lane oh-so, right? But as the lane breaks down, the old house pattern, its typical DNA, what it typically did when it broke down, depending on who you're bowling with, it might vary, but it would get really flat in the mids and spark a ton outside. When we do more testing on this pattern and we get more people on it, that's what I'm gonna be looking for, because that was the worst part of the old pattern, and that's what we're trying to fix on these particular lanes. Let's move left just some more, throw one more shot. We're gonna go into just right a 4th arrow or so, nothing too crazy. I prefer not to wheel the lane. Oh, look good. The more I get left, actually, the quicker the ball is getting, which makes sense. It's not seeing friction, it's storing energy. When it does get to the end of the lane, it does make its turn. So I have more hold with this ball, I can tell, versus the Mesmerize. But we're gonna go ahead and move into our sims. I got the Stealth Hybrid here. One of my favorite balls. Took it to Nationals, worked great. And it works really good on house shot. Big block symmetric. And we got our sneak attack, small block symmetric. The same thing I try to do with these balls, just get a variation. Let's go and change thumb hole. Again, up 5, probably watch it hook. Yeah, definitely more continuous shape. Just saw too much friction, hooked at 25 to 30 feet. Saw too much friction, move left. We're gonna move around second arrow, 8-ish. I got it right, and it wrapped 10. So it wasn't the best shot, but looked better. Had to control the pocket at least. We need air conditioning, man. When we build that Rev It Up studio, it has a pro shop, chill area, 4 or 6 lanes. Yeah, that's what I want in my life. Yeah, absolutely. I'll get you your own popcorn, ice cream. What do you drink, the Aloha? Azoa? Yeah, we can get a little fridge, get sponsored by them. We're gonna move left of second arrow, just slightly. Oh, I missed it in. Go. That is what we did not have on the old shot. That would have hooked. I don't think that would have struck at all. That did. I can already see the difference there with the old house shot to the new one. That would have went through the face or at least 4-pinned. There's no way that ball would have held. I could see of that carry down, or at least that shim. Now I do have, what now, probably 2 games on this by myself playing over the lane. It's gonna have some carry down at this point. That's a lot more than we've ever had. So that looked decent. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that again, but hit my mark. It's okay. I think I threw it a little slow. So we're gonna go ahead and try that again. I feel like if I threw it the same speed as the last shot, maybe it would have struck and maybe I would have had the room I wanted. But that one, I think I threw it pretty slow. That's much better. Okay, yeah. It was slow, however, it's still not enough. I'm too close to that friction. We're gonna move a few boards left. Now, I could always just pick the speed up some. I just wanna play different parts of the lane, not have to rely on myself. We're gonna move a few boards left and try to hit 13, 14. Yeah, much better. That looked good, I like it. I'd say that's probably where I would try to play. Maybe further right if it was fresh, and not 2 games-ish lineage. That looked pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and move left. I do wanna test more of that shim. We know the right side still hooks. We saw that with both our bowling balls. I think to the gutter, maybe is a little, and I'm not an expert oil pattern guy. Like, don't get me wrong, I know ball motion, and I know how to play it, I know how to see it. But when you talk about 2-2s, 3-3s, whatever, I can understand it, but I'm not gonna tell you I know it. It seems like it is cliffy, but it's not gonna be perfect for everyone. I guess it makes sense, but I would say maybe add a little volume to the outside, an extra 2-2, maybe a foot further, something to not have it just spark up so quick on the outside, but it is tremendously better than it was before. Can't argue with that. All right, we're gonna move left. We're gonna go left of third arrow, 16-ish, make a little difference, 16, 17. I'm too far left of my feet. Yeah, not too bad. Starting to get down the lane. I kept it in. I wanted to see if it would shim, and it definitely shimmed to the point where it actually came up light. If I got that miss, I'm very happy about it. Move left more. Yeah, that shim there, that thing would have been through the face, maybe Brooklyn on the old shot. And I purposely got it there. Just the 4-pin on a miss in, I'm happy about. House shots are not meant to be hard. That's why they are house shots. I'm not saying you need to average 250. You can think less and drink more. We're gonna move just more left. And I really want to test the shim on this. I wouldn't normally play here, maybe third game, but that's still quite a bit of boards to move. Yeah, the middle part of the lane is much better than the old one. Like that, if I saw, I wouldn't play there, don't get me wrong, but on the old pattern, I mean, again, that would have hooked, and it was just so flat that it's so inconsistent. This, I feel like in my brain that there is like a small taper in the middle of the lane where I know that if it gets to the end of the pattern at 15 feet, or sorry, 15 board, not 16 board, like those will do something just drastically different on the old pattern. This one, it seems like it's blended more off the back of the pattern and the ball is a little more predictable. We're gonna go ahead and move to the weakest ball I brought. The lowest amount of volume, still slower response type of ball in the sneak attack. We're gonna do the same thing, go up 5. If I had to guess what's gonna happen, I think the stealth mode's my favorite right now at the moment. The sneak attack should be pretty similar, but I'll probably have to play further right. All right, so we're gonna try the sneak attack again, 5 board. Yeah, pretty similar what the sneak attack or stealth did, just less. Got a little bit further down lane, understandable. So move in, I don't normally would play there. I know there's other league bowlers that do, don't get me wrong. But for my game, that's kind of what we're trying to do. So, I'm gonna try 10. Oof, that thing continued. Whew, it's a symmetric. All right, That one looked okay, but I thought it was just like hold the pocket and then it just kept trucking. So let's find more lane. In my personal opinion, top 5 radical ball all time. Sneak attack solid. All right, much better. Still a little bit too much continuation. This ball doesn't flare a ridiculous amount. It is a weaker end bowling ball. So you're gonna see a little bit more back end motion because it's just trying to store a bunch of energy. Much better, much better. Moved a little bit more left. Just kind of gave it some room. This ball right now, I think is just too much volume for it. I can play a little bit further right. I can try that to kind of blend it out. But I think right now, like, it's so continuous just because it's storing so much energy. So I'd scuff it up a little bit or just throw it on a pattern, which would make sense with lower volume because that's what it's meant for. So right now with the amount of volume I'm seeing, probably not the best choice at the moment. I do want to see a little bit more predictable ball motion, but it doesn't look awful. Like, and that makes sense why the stealth, I like it, and I thought it looked the best out of these ones. This one's close, but it needs a little bit less volume. Third arrow. Oh my God, why do I keep doing that? Strike. Oh, I think I need a piece of tape. Should just go two-handed. I won't have thumb problems. All right, third arrow again. May get a good shot this time. Hook. All right, gave that one too much room right. Yeah, it's a little too much room right. I'm thinking this ball, I could kind of feel like maybe the shim a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much oil with it. I mean, for this ball. So I'm gonna try not to get it so far right, kind of play up a little bit more. Oh, no, I threw it right. Moved a little right, kind of tried to tighten my angles up, even though I didn't, but a little bit better. Is that front door not locked? Ball return, come on. Okay, still continuing quite a bit. I think there's just too much volume to get the ball slowed down enough. That's what I'm seeing right now is the ball just not slowing down enough. That's fine. I mean, it just tells me that I finally found something weak enough to throw on this house shot. Our old house shot, it was a decent amount of friction, but it was like just clipped. Like you would need a stealth or a mesmerize or something in the middle part line. And on the right side, you could throw a plastic ball. So what I'm seeing now is a little bit more volume across the lane rather than just in the middle. All right, remove left a little bit more. Like I said, I don't want to be here, but. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, it's just not slowing down. Like, it looked great. I just want to see a little more front to back, that's all. I think it's getting a little too far down lane, a little too quick to respond, and it's not quite slowing down enough. The amount of volume I like, that kind of tells me that I think as a pro shop operator, I can sell some nice bigger end bowling balls, but also, you know, I don't have to be throwing a vibe all the time or a sneak attack. I can actually be cool and throw something a little bit bigger. All right, let's move right a little bit. I'm gonna try to play the friction more where this ball likes to play, see if I can get it slowed down. Not enough. Just wants to continue a little too much. We're gonna try it one more time. When you guys are, I mean, house shots, a lot of places don't really change their house shot ever. So I guess this video may not be for you, but if you're at a house that maybe changed their house shot or even understanding patterns in general, I always try to start, if I don't know what it is, slowest, heaviest volume bowling ball and try to play up the boards and then kind of play around from there. It gives me a starting point. That way I know, dang, that ball hooked too much. It hooked too early, it rolled out, I need something for less volume. And you can kind of go down the line. If you kind of start with the weakest or the strongest, then you're kind of chasing your tail a little bit until you figure out what you're looking for. We just want the slowest possible reaction to create good ball motion. Speed it up a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. So with this ball right now, I actually have to throw it pretty hard and play in the friction. So and this is just to make it work. Is it the best ball motion I want to try to achieve? No. Like I said, I don't think that ball is slowing down quite enough. When you throw it off your hand, a lot of people say you want to see the ball slow down 3-4 miles an hour before it hits the pocket. The ball's not slowing down, so you do need to hook or slow down at least some. We're gonna do the same thing. Yeah, we're gonna do the same. I'll move right a little bit more. Go. All right, so I think that's about it for this test. Played around multiple parts of the lane. I think to get more information, I'm gonna have to get some people out here, practice on a little bit more, actually do a league style where how long does it last through 3 games and what does it do differently. So far from what I've seen with this one, the only change I would even think about making on a fresh would be maybe a little bit more oil outside, just because I have PTSD from duck hooking so much, or the ball is just checking when I get it right quick. Other than that, I really like the middle part of the lane. I think we have plenty of hold, especially on fresh. I think there's too much hold on fresh, then you start getting that carry down and that super cliff. So far I do like what I see. As far as the bowling balls I threw, Mesmerize, Entity, Stealth, and the sneak attack. Mesmerize I think is too much ball in general. There's not quite enough volume. And where there is volume, I have to get in pretty deep, create maybe bigger angles, and it's not necessarily built to do so, especially with that drilling. So I think for me, I might be able to throw a ball like that if it's more like the Entity. Now the Entity I think looked pretty good. It's a little bit quicker to respond, got down lane a little bit further, and hooked a teensy bit less. I think if I want to create a little bit bigger angles, open the lane up on fresh a little bit more naturally, the Entity. Now the Stealth mode I thought was my favorite. It gave me right, it gave me left. I was able to play right, I was able to play left, you know, found that shim, threw right, stuff like that. So I think the Stealth at this point, bigger block, kind of controllable type bowling ball, looked pretty good. I didn't see any hook in the heads, even the mids not too much unless it was right quick or I was playing right a second arrow. So far what I've seen, I'm not seeing any of the telltale signs of a bad pattern that might break down in a weird way. I'm liking what I see, but again, once we get 5, 10 people on these pairs with different styles, we'll see how it kind of breaks down. So if you guys have any questions about your house shot or in general, you know, maybe add to this test, hey, try this, try that, please leave them in the comments. We definitely appreciate that. It's kind of one way we like to grow is by not necessarily using your ideas, but giving you guys, the audience, what you want to see. That was our test on the new house shot here at Center Bowl in Anchorage, Alaska. If you guys want to see more tests like this or just fun practices, just let us know. My name is Jason Robarge. We're Rev It Up Bowling. Much love. Peace.